TCL, the only way for me to know if your product is a good value is for me to know the price. And the closest thing I have to a price for the 20 Pro 5G is this article from last month in PC Mag, where it is apparently $549 US or 549 euros. So I guess we're gonna go based on that. One of the big features here today is, of course, that TCL has deleted the concept of the camera bump. So you can see the entire device is completely flat. Back, front. I remember it was not that long ago that you had to pay like $1,000 US almost to get a phone that, I mean, was basically exactly this shape and with these features, something like a Galaxy 6 Edge, or more accurately, the S6 Edge Plus, since I think the 6.67-inch OLED display is closer in size to that one. The screen kind of wraps around the edge of the 2.5D, or whatever you want to call it, curved glass. But I think TCL has actually done a pretty good job of the size of the dead zones here. So you can see the screen actually ends just as the curve kind of starts. So that way, when you're grabbing onto the phone with your meat hooks, there's a much slimmer chance of the skin kind of mushing at the edges and accidentally pressing or swiping to another display screen or whatever else the case may be. Unlike that device though, in spite of the lower price, the specs are a lot more modern. So it's pretty middling for a modern flagship with a Snapdragon 750G processor, 6 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, but that's also more than most people will need, and when I say most people, I don't mean tech enthusiasts out there. I'm talking like my uncle, you know, just got a new phone and he literally uses it as a telephone. More than he could ever need. You can quote me on that. You got your SIM removal tool, you got your guide de démarrage rapide, quick start guide. Oh, there it is in English on the other side. You got your charger. So I believe it supports up to 18 watt fast charging, and let's see if they've included, this doesn't look like a fast charger. It'll do 12 volts, 1.5 amps. Yep, okay, so there's your 18 watt charger included in the box, Type C to Type A cable, and it'll actually do up to 15 watt wireless charging, which is something that's a bit of a new feature in these more budget-oriented phones. What I'm trying to figure out right now is what the heck TCL means by super Bluetooth, connect up to 4 devices. I think what they're talking about is Bluetooth 5.1 or 5.2, which each of which have some new operational modes. It's 5.1? Yeah, so that's probably what they're branding as super Bluetooth. Interesting, no, that seems to be a 5.2 feature. So I wonder if this is one of those cases where they've got 5.1 certified hardware, but they've managed to get 5.2 features running on it. We've seen that kind of thing in HDMI standards before. I don't pretend to be an expert when it comes to Bluetooth standards, but there's clearly a precedent for it. This video is brought to you by Manscaped. Their Performance Package Kit has everything you'll need to stay groomed from head to toe. It features their Lawnmower 3.0 waterproof trimmer with skin-safe technology, as well as their Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer for those tricky to reach areas. For a limited time, you'll get the kit plus 2 free gifts: the Shed travel bag and Manscaped's anti-chafing boxer briefs. So don't wait, go to manscaped.com/circuit to get 20% off and free shipping. Another thing that's really nice to see is, like a value phone, for whatever reason, you end up with more features than you do on higher end phones from a certain point of view. So on the bottom, we find our SIM tray, and would you look at that? You got your SIM, you got your micro SD, freaking love it. And then, check this out. Bam, headphone jack, IR emitter. It's like, what year is it? It's almost like all those features that existed on phones before could be integrated into modern phones for next to nothing and still hit a reasonable price point. Wow, others could learn a thing or two. Get this, it even has FM radio, apparently. So we'll be listening to the radio, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta put in headphones as an antenna. Look at that, finding all the local stations. Got that QMFM, got that JRFM, a little bit of country. Just gotta find the right. Oh, don't wanna touch that cable. How's our sound on this puppy? Oh, no amplified earpiece speaker. Well, something had to give. Actually, for that matter, I don't think it has officially any kind of waterproof rating either, does it? With that said, it did have a gasket around the SIM slot, so I suspect it's one of those things where they're not paying for the certification, but it probably has some water resistance because The thing about consumers is even if the phone is not rated as being water resistant, they will still try to RMA a phone that they like water damage. So it's in phone manufacturers' best interest, even if they don't have a rating, to have it have some water resistance. The reason that haptic motor doesn't feel as good doing this as it did when I was typing. When I was typing, it felt like pretty darn good for a budget phone. Not that this is strictly speaking a budget phone, more of a mid-range phone. Let's check the speed of the fingerprint reader. I'm expecting it to be fine. It's a little slow, but it's fine. Yep. Well, yeah, but Samsung's is really slow. And I've been taking crap for years for saying that Samsung's fingerprint sensor is not fast. And it's still not fast, I'm sorry. One of the key features of this phone is, of course, its 700 nit peak brightness display and certification for Netflix HDR. Not mind-blowing like some of the new Apple or Samsung devices, but more than competent. And I gotta say, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I am a big fan of the skinny, tall displays. It's not great for certain types of content. Like if you're the kind of person who's scrolling on Facebook, you end up watching 16:9 videos in this like little tiny sliver of your display. But if you watch movies on your phone, which I do, or if you scroll text content a lot, which I also do, the taller display is, for me anyway, better than the wider one. Of course, we should probably talk about the camera a little bit. So 48 megapixel main shooter with 3 additional ones. So what is it, like 2 megapixel depth, 5 megapixel macro, and then I think it's like a 16 megapixel ultra wide. Yep, that's a cell phone camera, all right. Colors are a little muted and uninspiring. And I can tell that it's not just the display being crap, because the display is not. It looked great in Spider-Man. That's TCL's expertise. I would expect them not to screw that up. Remember, their background is like TVs and stuff, right? All right, so there's our ultra wide lens. Managed to identify that Andy is wearing a black shirt and not a gray one. Yeah, lttstore.com, that mouse pad's a little more vibrant in the ultra wide. Just recording me some video. Oh yeah, the color's super unexceptional. I mean, it is a challenging situation because it's like into the light, but even this is like, not great. It's always like that when you're not buying, I mean, pretty much an iPhone or like a top tier phone where you'll get that inconsistency in the color science between the different lenses, which are of course completely separate cameras. Nothing else. Wow, that's a lot of glass splinters that could end up in my finger. Selfie camera actually stand out. Like, dang. That's no like weird, stupid smoothing or anything like that. Like that's for better or for worse what I look like. I need a haircut. And this is a lot of outroing this video. Subscribe to Short Circuit for more videos like this one. Looks like from a just fit and finish and overall feature standpoint, TCL has a winner on their hands here. So good job guys, and good job you guys for making it to the end of the video.